Still your fault, just for the
Nope.
record.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. Go ahead and say nope. It's fine. You're wrong, but it's fine. This is BRG Podcast, episode 27 for July 11th, 2016. This episode is brought to you by wonderful Patreons over at patreon.com/BRG. Again, guys, give us a little love and we'll give the love right back. I promise. Actually, some stuff's something to come out soon, so you'll see what I'm talking about a little bit later here. But anyways, hi guys, welcome back to another wonderful episode of the BRG Podcast. And as always, you've got myself, Warp Jester, and the distraction over here is, down here is Watwick.
Hello, everybody.
God. And you can see already this is going to be a really kind of just all kinds of crapola off the rails kind of a podcast. But hey, welcome to the play. No, seriously, we're going to try to get our podcast back under control. I do apologize. And first of all, a couple of things. I have said on a previous podcast, Hamnisto's coming up, and he didn't. But I'm hoping maybe that would be offset by the fact we had a huge abundance of people, being all of House Nexus as well as Kirok on with us. And Hamnisto was going to be on the following week, which didn't happen. So in replacement to Hamnisto, we've got Watwick. So I forgot to tell you, Watwick, by the way, you need to actually have a nice Swedish accent.
Borkin.
There you go.
Does that work for you?
Didn't realize you were a chef too. So, anyways, but the other apology is the podcasts have been rather long, and again, I do apologize. We are going to try to get that back under control. The biggest issue is we try to keep our news bites to about 20 minutes for all the news, and it wasn't running long, and 99.9% of the time it's my fault. So I apologize. I go through these articles and they end up running long because of it. Anyways, that said, tonight we had a nice lighthearted, fun gaming-related main topic for VR, our first experiences with VR. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go back. I know it's long, but again, worth it. But you know how we go. We usually have some lighthearted. Now we're going to go back to something a little more deep. So tonight it's actually going to be about the ethics of new media creators. And this is kind of focusing on a whole bunch of YouTube drama that's been coming up and just kind of the general feelings about that. And Watwick is going to be a great candidate to talk about this because we're both going to be in the same realm. That said, first things first, the news. Okay, guys. So I'm going to dive right into this. And the first item on the docket is going to be Microsoft quietly edits its Xbox Play Anywhere promise. This pains me a little. I'll be honest with you. This kind of pains me a bit because when there's a whole big E3 announcement with Microsoft was kind of the stars or the gems of the show, in my opinion, because they had so much stuff coming out and so much really good news. It was actually surprising. Most of the stuff that everybody else brought out was either leaked or you were given heads up on. Microsoft threw a lot of cool punches, one of which was, hey, buy it once, play it anywhere. So you're going to be able to buy a game, play it on your Xbox, and play it on your Windows 10 machine, and everything's going to sync. So all of your achievements, all of your progress, you can start the console and go over to the computer and pick up where you left off. Well, that's changed just a little bit. Microsoft basically just recently just quietly changed some editing there, didn't say anything. And they went from basically saying everything to, select titles. To give you the exact quote here, they went from every new title published from Microsoft Studios will support Xbox Play anywhere. And they changed that to read every new title published from Microsoft Studios that we have shown on stage at E3 this year will be available for this.
The emphasis being ours.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a given, but they said up front there was anything from the Microsoft Store, basically was going to be golden. Now they're just saying the ones we talked about on stage. We don't make any promises for the ones beyond that.
Right.
Okay, I guess. Could be worse.
I mean, did we really expect any different from a console maker?
Well, they're kind of more of a console maker. I mean, technically, they're, trying to be overlords.
I mean, technically, they're a software development company, but...
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, just got a heads up on that. I just like the fact they're a little bit shady about it in terms of we're just going to quietly edit this and pretend nobody notices. Again, yeah, welcome to the internet. Everybody notices everything. And if there's ever a question about there's the thing called the Wayback Machine that will prove to you very quickly that you lied. Anyways.
All right. I mean, in their defense, there's still a lot of really good games that are going to be playable.
Absolutely.
It's a cool concept. Hopefully it'll go more towards cross-platform compatibility in the future, but
yeah,
if it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is.
Cross-platform compatibility is not going to be a problem. It's moth dead. Sorry. Cross-platform compatibility is less of an issue. We see a lot of games that have been coming out for both PC and console. It's just that shared, buy it once, play it everywhere, and have your achievements and progress saved. So,
right
there you go. Anyways, moving on. Shocking breaking news.
There is apparently what we call a gender gap in gaming.
So many bad jokes right there. Thanks for the pause.
There's, I think that there's this underlying myth, if you will, that females in general, women in general, are less inclined to be gamers and less inclined to be good at games. Just like there's a myth that females and women in general are worse at certain things that men are good at, which obviously anybody that has any experience with women, is married, has a mom, has sisters, etc., grew up around women, know that these things are not true. And there's been a study done basically debunking that myth. What they did is they took 2 sets of data from 2 different games and they studied that data. And what the study shows is that females are actually, I'm sorry, should stop saying the word females. Women in general are just as good, if not better in certain situations, than their male counterparts.
Yeah, shocking.
Shocking, right?
Let's be honest here. There are differences between men and women, and that there are physical differences that just innately men are going to be better built for than women. But those are a very, very small set, and in almost every situation, there are exceptions to the rule where women are going to be just as good or better in a lot of things. But we're talking about video games here. There's nothing that's been shown, proven, or anything ever that mentally somehow women are magically deficient at video games, or magically deficient anyway, to be honest. They're just as, and every bit capable, intelligent, logic, reasoning, etc. So, and this is kind of a duh thing, and there's been the whole ongoing debate. The point is, this has actually been a definitive study. They looked at data sets for 2 different MMOs, being EverQuest 2, which was 9,000 people in the States, and another game, I can't remember the name of it. It was another game that was 2,000 people.
Chevalier's Romance 3.
Yeah, that was based out of 2,000 people in China. And they studied the data sets, and what they found out, shock of shocks, is women are every bit as capable. And there's a lot of factors in this too. Just to be clear, there's a lot of data variations, including time played, guild interactivity, and things like that. And like I said, shock of shocks. Women are just every bit as good at it. There is some interesting things that came out of this, though, noticed when they're doing the study, which is about how women play versus how men play.
Right.
And that's actually what I found really. I'm not sure if you looked into that much detail while with, but I found that very interesting. And again, it's not terribly surprising, but what they say is men tend to gravitate towards confrontational elements, battles, and tend to be more aggressive players in both their attitude in gaming as well as the characters they play. Men tend to play more tanks or action type items. Women tend to be more communal based. They might gravitate more towards cooperative type engagement and tend to be more support players, playing healers.
And I mean, if the human genome says anything about that,
it's kind of in nature.
It's kind of our DNA, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's interesting because you're absolutely right, and that's kind of been an innate thought we've had, and just kind of looking at history and whatnot is women tend to be more. Forgive me, I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but women tend to be more nurturing than men are, and they tend to be more communal than men are, and it seems like this game data is actually proving that.
Yeah,
and different memes. So that's kind of neat. The other little caveat they threw in there too is the whole aspect about how they're saying that people, just in general, women included, that are exposed to gaming seem to be better suited and more capable when it comes to science and tech industry for jobs.
Right.
So this is an important little asterisk, sub note unrelated to the test they're doing, but a good caveat. Get your kids playing games, male and female alike, because this can help them in their endeavors in the future.
Yeah.
Go fig.
I agree.
So, hey, more power to you. On that note, though, not to say that women aren't as good as guys, but first person to break level 1000 in Steam was a guy.
Yeah.
Just saying. Oh, and we can pee better standing up. But anyways, small caveats. So this is kind of interesting because a guy by the name of Palm Desert has just pushed his account past 1,000. He's a 35-year-old man living in Japan, and the Steam levels are a culmination of the games you play, the time you put into them, etc. This particular gentleman has put a lot of time on his hands. And I mean a lot of time on his hands. First of all, he's got a whooping 5,137 games in his game account, which is pretty impressive considering the fact that the entirety of Steam's library, including games and DLC, is 7,481 and counting. So he's got better than 3/4 of their library and then some. To begin with, look at the stats. This is absolutely fascinating. So he's up to level 1,111 now. His current account value, $42,762.
Yeah.
I right. Seriously, and I love this too because they have this wonderful breakdown here that shows you, like time spent, how much you paid for the game, etc. And you can organize it to kind of see how everything lays out. And this is what absolutely boggles me. And the best thing about it is they'll actually give you a price per hour value. So Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2, he has spent 900, let me get back here real quick, 942.8 hours on Left 4 Dead 2. For a $20 game, that is 0.02 cents per hour value.
Yeah.
Dear God.
I mean, talk about getting your money's worth.
I'm definitely not going to be bagging on Lindsay anymore for the amount of games she hasn't played yet.
Right. Well, one of the things that I thought was interesting is his total hours on record, which is 11,575 hours.
Yep. Average play time 5.9 hours. This guy either doesn't have a job or has a really good job.
He doesn't have something. I mean, there's obviously something going on.
Obviously not kids.
Kids, family. No.
Just to give you guys an understanding and comparison here, if you look at the next person who's actually above him now, he's at 1,113 for level. He's got a whole whooping 639 games, which is a value of $4,700. You can see the difference here. I mean, this was the next guy in line. This is the second person who broke that 1,000 marker. I'll even go one step further. Here's Watwick's account. At level 6, I might add. With 41 games, $462. Yeah. Total of 229.5 hours played, Watwick. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for being a gamer, I'm a heavy gamer.
Put Watwick out there on the line right now. So there you go, guys. I find that kind of humorous. This is somebody definitely has a lot of time on their hands, apparently.
Right.
This count right here for Watwick. This is what a married person that has kids looks like.
Exactly.
Just for the record, I didn't put my account up because it's worse than this. Just so you guys know.
Come on, Warp. Just show your account.
Oh no, we'll move. Moving on. Speaking of games, Watwick.
Speaking of games, Final Fantasy VII is now available on Android.
If you're into that, kick ass.
I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Other than that the game was originally released almost 20 years ago.
Damn near.
I mean, coming up next year, not next year, within like 6 months, January 31st, 1997.
Year.
Originally came out on the PlayStation 1. And 20 years later,
it goes out on the phone.
Playable on your phone.
I love this more than anything, just to give you kind of the understanding of where technology has come. I mean, literally,
exactly.
This right here can now play what my PlayStation 1, which I still have, by the way, can play.
Where is it? Is it behind you? I'm looking on your shelves.
No, I don't. That's a good point. I need to dig it out, and I need to dig out my Atari and put them up on the shelf. Right now, all I've got is random bric-a-brac. I got a few games back here, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Plus, I need to get a better layout so things can be close so people can actually see them because they're kind of far away. Can't even see the spider back there.
It's a really cool concept to know that you can play a game that you originally played on an old, probably box screen TV. The old
4:3 aspect ratio
tube TVs, and you can now play it on a phone that's basically the size of your palm.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, this did come out a year earlier on iOS, and also just as a disclaimer, there are some known bugs with it still, and we're talking about a $16 game. This is near your $2.99 type thing. But yeah, it's really cool for people who are really into Final Fantasy, which it is a very notable and loved franchise. There's gonna be a lot of people out there in our demographic. They're gonna go, dude, I totally played the crap out of that. And to be able to go back and play that game, especially on your phone, we're talking like staying in line at DMV, killing a little time, waiting for something to happen, playing at stop signs, stop lights.
Wait. So you still stand in line at the DMV? You know that there's appointments now.
Yeah, newsflash. You make an appointment to go stand in line at DMV.
No shit. Last time, I just had to go to the DMV a couple weeks ago. I was literally in the building for less than 5 minutes.
I envy your DMV. We get an
blew
appointment
my
in there
effing
for like
mind.
10, or probably about an hour almost.
Yeah, blew my effing mind. I'm getting better.
Yeah, you're improving.
Anyways, Final Fantasy VII, $16 on Google Play if you're interested. Pick it up. Should be a fun experience. Or it could be full of bugs. Who knows?
Yeah. Fun game. Maybe we can have like some kind of tournament with it. Android versus Android. Speaking of tournaments, this is more of a kind of a news follow-up. We've talked a lot about the coming of age for esports. This just furthers it. Razer, who's become the kind of prodigy child for gaming gear, is just really diving in deep with supporting and sponsoring esports. So much so they're now investing in Denial Esports. This is like, I think like the 20th. Yeah, now sponsors 20 different esports teams. So Razer is all over, but they're the ubiquitous label you're going to see on everybody's jersey, so to speak.
Right.
So again, it's just, one of those things that just call out to you guys and remind you this is a thing. And I've had a lot of fun going to Twitch and Beam and those places and finding some esports when they come up. They're entertaining to watch. Some of them, I've seen like, watching games of StarCraft. I love StarCraft to death. but watching tournament play StarCraft is completely different from how I play. I hoard, I turtle, I build up, I send huge masses after people half hour into the game. These guys get 5, characters and they go and ransack people.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
One minor little mistake, not click on somebody enough time, that's it, you're done.
Well, the fact that there's 20 different, big ticket esports teams really says something about the industry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, whether you hate it, whether you love it, it's a thing, and it's definitely going to be here to stay for a long time.
We even have esports scandals going on already. I mean,
we'll be talking about that here shortly.
I mean, it is beyond a thing. It is a thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so that's a little bit of news follow up. Also, want to talk a little bit on the tech tidbit front.
Definitely, this is something that I am personally excited about because I'm still running a 750 Ti with 2 gigs of RAM.
Why do I even associate with you?
You know what, man?
Dude, that was
750 Ti. It's super clocked. It's a really great card, and I've been able to play up until, about when Witcher 3 came out.
And
I've been able to play.
How much did that cost you back then?
Like $140. I picked it up on Newegg, and that was 3 years ago.
Not a bad price tag.
I mean, it's not a bad price tag. It wasn't, the most powerful card when it came out by any means, but it got the job done. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what people are now leaning towards is, they're looking for a graphics card that isn't going to break the bank. It's not going to be the most powerful. It's not going to be the least powerful. It's going to be kind of middle of the road. And that's where AMD, when they did their PC gaming show, resonated with a lot of people with their 480 card.
It's the only market they could eke out.
Right. And so NVIDIA has now responded to Radeon's budget card with the GTX 1060. Basically, it's bringing the architectural structure of the Big Brother card or Big Sister card, if you will, and putting it into a budget card at $250 price tag.
And this is exciting too because that's dirt flipping cheap.
I know, me personally, I will pick one up for $250, no issues whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt.
Just because it's super efficient on power, and it can run VR out of the box with no issues.
And this is what's really nice about it too, because it's not just that it has the beef now that can run VR. Right. First of all, it's running on the new Pascal chipset, chip architecture. So you're getting the new concept, and there's a couple things to it. It's a smaller die, it's more efficient, but it's also the way it's set up. It's more VR friendly. So it's going to work better. Now, the raw power of it is actually comparable to the last generation top end.
Right.
So you're talking about a card that's $250 that basically is going to contend with the 980 for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's cheaper.
And it's gorgeous. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, it's a really nice card.
This is what you call a lot of happy.
Yep.
I see something like this, though, and the first thing I look at this and go, it looks great, and I'd be the sorry person who would want to take apart the cowl on it and repaint it just for fun.
Yeah,
spice up a little bit, nice green.
Yeah, do something. It's right now it's just kind of black and silver, but I'm sure a lot of the EVGA and a lot of those guys will definitely put some different coolers on here, and you'll end up with a card. They'll super clock it, and you'll end up with a card that's a really, really great card for $250.
Again, dirt friggin' cheap. It's wonderful. It's got all the benefits. It's got the whole basic that its big brothers have, and it's going to have the Ansel built into it coming soon. It's not as cheap as AMD's offering, which is like $199.
Right.
But
it's not meant to be.
It's got more beef. It just plain simple. It's got more beef.
There's going to be people that want one, then there's going to be people that want another. I personally have never had success with AMD's cards. I have great success with their CPUs. no issues whatsoever. But I've never had success with AMD graphics cards before.
Well, there you go.
So,
yeah. So FYI to you guys. So keep that in mind. Look for that, and I definitely think this is going to be a good card to get for people who want to put on budget. And bear in mind, if you're going to get into VR, this will work. I mean, you can get away with a 960. This is going to work better. If you have the cash, go for the higher end.
Right.
If you're still in the
definitely
realm
go
of,
for the 1070 if you have the cash for it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're still going for a 2D experience for gaming, this is going to be a beast. This is going to cover every game you want to play and then some for a while. So it's going to be a good investment. All right. So that said, there's your little tech bite. Getting on the science, because science. Harvard researchers build a living robot out of rat hearts. This is a great article that talk about what this is and how it works. I love the opening line in this. What do you get when you mix the heart cells of a rat with silicone from a breast implant and then sprinkle it with bits of gold and genetic engineering? No, not Trump's next wife.
No. You get a stingray.
You get you get a little proto stingray. This is actually kind of neat. They've actually built a biological robot of sorts. So basically what it is, it's a base layer of silicone, and then they have a gold skeletal structure, if you will. And they have another layer over that, and they have these specially created rat heart cells that actually have the bacteria or an algae that's built into them that's light reactive. It'll cause the muscles to contract. So by hitting this with light, you can control them and they can actually swim around.
Yeah, and you can actually control which muscle groups respond to the light. And it's interesting because I actually heard an interview with the guy that put this whole project together on NPR the other day. Oh, cool. And it was just absolutely fascinating how, he was basically standing in line one day trying to figure out, common issues with heart transplants. And, the story was he took his daughter to the aquarium, and they basically have, a lot of aquariums nowadays, they have the stingray experience where you can put your hand in the water and run your hand over the stingray and kind of pet the stingrays, if you will.
Just don't get stabbed in the heart.
Right. What had happened is, when his daughter went to touch the stingray, it basically flipped its fin and completely changed course of its entire body within milliseconds. Huh. And he said it was like a light going off in his head about the human heart and the way that the muscle tissue of your heart actually functions in a very similar way to the way the stingray's fins and their muscle system works.
Hence it's being kind of architected around that same concept.
Right. Yeah, really, really fascinating.
Cool
story. If you get a chance, I think NPR has it up on their website. Get a chance, go check it out. Really, really cool.
I'll add that in there. So check it out. I'll just article here, of course. Check that out. It's got some good details in it. It's fun science stuff. I appreciate it, and stay learned.
Gotta learn you.
Yeah, gotta learn you. All right, so I don't want to drag us on too much long here, but some quick little tidbits in the RL news. EU regulations.
Yeah, the EU regulations basically are mirroring what's going on in the US, in that, the US recently said net neutrality as a concept
needs to be preserved, basically.
Basically needs to be preserved, exactly. And so the EU is doing the same thing. They're saying, yes, we totally agree. Certain companies, if you will, have no place to limit based on certain criteria.
Yeah.
Whether it be the size of your internet traffic or how much bandwidth you're using or how much, warp downloads compared to me. how much Netflix he streams late at night in bed eating Oreos.
All right, now come
versus, I'm sorry, I'm telling your secrets to the world.
Long story short, if you don't understand about net neutrality, just look it up. There's probably good videos. This article actually explains it in great detail. They just don't want to have a tiered internet where Comcast can favor, their content versus Netflix, for example, or anything like that. So EU is falling in line with the US saying you can't do that. We don't want that, and there are the possibility of provincial exceptions to that. And this article actually does a really good job of explaining it. So keep an eye on this because this is something that does affect all of us. So I cannot stress that enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the topic's not dead. There's going to be appeals and countersuits and everything else, in both countries. And, the net neutrality,
it's
the conversation isn't dead by any means. So.
Yeah. And again, this is one of those things. This is where laws do meet us in the real world when it comes to the internet. So you got to keep an eye on this because it is important. Speaking of laws, this is another one that's really, really big. And again, I don't want to drag us on too long here, but this is an important one. And I want to make sure everybody's brutally aware of this because this is kind of frightening. Basically, the Ninth Circuit Appeals Court in the U.S. has ruled that giving your password to somebody else for anything is now a federal crime. So if I give you my password to my email, or if I share my password with Watwick for Netflix, that is a federal crime.
Yep.
Federal crime, guys. That's a big deal. There is no misdemeanor federal crimes here. Now, this was brought up in relation to a court battle has been going on for quite a few years now. Basically, there is it was United States versus Nozzle. I have no idea. The guy's a douche nozzle, so I'll just go with nozzle on this one. But basically,
just call him douche nozzle.
he was a headhunter formerly of a company called Corn and Ferry. These freaking names, man. So douche nozzle working at Corn and Ferry. Corn and Ferry, and he basically left that job to start his own company of similar ilk, and then through some conniving, got the password from an employee still within that company and basically logged in and drained or copied all that data from his old company so they could use it for his new company. Technically, nothing was broken because he borrowed somebody's password, but it's blatant theft in that regard, but they couldn't tag him for it. So what they basically cited here was they kind of added this additional clause to the Watwick. It's
called the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act.
Sorry, which is already a very flawed and bad thing. I could go on. I could have a whole topic on how putrid it is. It basically tries to label everything you do wrong on the internet as hacking, quote unquote hacking, including now sharing your password. So if you share your password with somebody, you will have the same. They will have the same legal right to come down on you in the same exact manner they can on hackers.
Yep.
That's the long and short of it.
Yeah, it definitely has other far-reaching implications.
It does.
It stems from data theft is really what it stems from, and this has been going on for, generations and generations. It didn't start in computers. It started, when people that used to work for financial companies and things like that would, as a salesperson, you would take clients when you left one firm and went to another firm. And, now it's systemically drilled down into data theft. And you're basically stealing one database and taking it to another database, whether it's a password or client data or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think they should pursue them on that whole aspect of it's theft and just gone that route. But I think what the problem
there's no reason to see it.
Well, I think the reason they want to try to hit them harder, and this is since they couldn't find a law that was blatantly clear enough to really slap them hard, they wanted to go ahead and create one to kind of slap.
So they can get future people.
Yeah. Now that said, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals had 3 judges on it, and they ruled 2-1 in favor of this. the one judge who denied and went against this, he actually raised a statement that to summarize, basically said, I can't agree with this because this is going to have far-reaching implications that are going to be bad news for all of us.
Right.
And so there's at least one rational person there, thankfully. Well, unfortunately, only one person, so that's that for you. Anyways, so again, another important thing, I wanted to bring it up because it is a really important big deal thing. So much so that I wanted to add this RL news section to our lineup just so we could really kind of dive into so you guys are aware of it. So bear that in mind. I do want to finish up on kind of a light note, a happy hard note here. Don't eat pet food while you're streaming on Twitch. There's actually rules. So if you guys aren't aware of this, there is actually it's not even competitive eating. It's just
eating.
It's just eating. This is apparently a very big thing in certain Asian countries.
Oh yeah.
That people like to sit there and watch others stuff their faces. I don't get this, but I've watched a couple of these out of curiosity when I first heard this come up months ago.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I saw this. I think she was Korean. Forgive me if I'm wrong. She was a petite little woman, and she had a pile of like noodles and all kinds of food in front of her.
Oh yeah, it was nuts.
Holy crap! My shop vac could not have kept up with her.
No.
It was frightening. But they have this wonderful list of what are you allowed to do and not allowed to do, and they go through kind of a list of things. What I love is the additional FAQs, and I've highlighted a few of them here. Primarily eating junk food such as candy, condiments, or energy foods is not permitted. Drinking alcoholic beverages, doing shots together, that's not permitted. And then here's a great one. Eating items or food not meant for human consumptions, such as pet food, toxic substances, bodily fluids.
You know what? The
list goes on.
The fact that they had to formalize this.
I wonder, was this because something came up or because it's like, we're just going to cover all bases?
No, this is because some jackass basically streamed this type of content.
Streams eating his stream. No, wait, never mind. Moving on.
We're getting our streams crossed here, but you get the idea.
Anyways,
bodily
guys,
fluids is in the list for a reason.
Oh god. So anyways, moving along, that's the news. If you have any questions, curiosities, definitely let us know. There's a bunch more news that didn't make the lineup tonight, and that'll be in the show notes, at the bottom of the show notes for news we didn't get a chance to cover. So certainly check out our show notes to learn more about that. Let's go ahead and switch gears here. Go ahead and do a little bit of this week in history. Yay! What's happening in history? Well, let's start off with, I love this. This is absolutely fantastic. July 4th, 1956, a direct keyboard input was actually coupled with a computer at MIT.
Right.
I know this seems kind of silly.
Mind, does it? Right.
Before this, it would primarily push buttons or punch cards.
Yeah, knobs, switches.
Literally.
Yeah.
So bear this in mind, guys. Again, I try to keep the history lessons to things that somehow assimilate or associate to the gaming world. But you wouldn't have your SWAT to move yourself around in CSGO if it wasn't for the fact that somebody had the brilliant idea to hook a keyboard up to a computer directly. And this is when it happened. So there you go.
Which leads us into the next thing in regards to computers. July 3rd, 1969 was the day the world met the internet.
And it was all Pornhub from there.
Exactly. I mean, that really says it all. Within a matter of probably a few minutes, you had nothing but porn.
And viruses. Don't forget the viruses.
There's a rule that states that you're never more than 2 clicks away from black cock on the internet. And that's, it's a life lesson that you should stick to. But back to the history lesson.
I think it's a guy history lesson. Wow. Okay.
Kids, don't Google black cock.
Don't
Just don't.
Don't spell it out for them.
I didn't spell it. I said the words. They have to learn how to spell
Jesus.
first. God, we're not targeting them that young, Warped.
So yeah, internet happened.
Yeah.
There you go.
1969. What a year.
And on the most important note for history, on this day in history, July 9th, 1982, Disney released the original Tron.
Yep.
Yes, kids, there was an earlier one.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually notable just because this is one of the first extensive uses of computer-generated graphics in a movie.
Yeah.
Yep. If you haven't seen the original Tron, go watch it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I still enjoy it very much.
Oh, yeah.
And the graphics were very much 80s, but it's really neat. It's really neat to watch.
Yeah. And if you haven't heard, apparently Disney is building a Tron ride with light cycles and all kinds of stuff, man. Check it out, kids. Check it out.
That you can go look up.
It looked pretty cool from what I mean, I'm a huge Tron fan. I like the new one. I like the old one.
Can't complain.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, quick little tidbits, birthdays. Because you got to have birthdays.
Unfortunately. I keep having them.
2 birthdays up. One is our wonderful friend Hem Nisu. Again, Hem Nisu is a wonderful YouTuber and Twitch streamer. I definitely encourage you to check him out. I'll have the links in the show notes for you so you can easily get to his channel. He's a wonderful guy. Unfortunately, things came up. We couldn't have him on, but he will be on as soon as he's available, sooner or later. He's wonderful. I love his accent. Also, the important things in life. Also, Build, Mind, Survive. Birthday's on the 15th. He's also a Twitch streamer as well as a YouTuber. So you can go over and check his channel out there. And again, links will be in the show notes.
Happy birthday to you.
I need to get you a blonde wig. If you keep doing this every time we're on.
Happy birthday.
Maybe this little white dress and have some. Oh, jeez. Animation of milk squirting now. Anyway, kids, don't look that up. Never mind. Don't look up anything.
Don't Google anything we've said tonight. Other than the rat hearts as a stingray.
Look that up. That's cool.
Look that up.
And Tron. Don't look up most of the things we say unless we tell you to look it up.
Exactly.
Right.
If there's no screenshot for it in the vicinity of the screen anywhere, just don't bother.
All right, we're running along now. There are a bunch of events up. I'll have the events in the show notes for you to check out. So please do check them out and you can see what's going on. Quick commercial break. I want to talk about iCraft. iCraft is a vanilla community, vanilla Minecraft community. They are actually taking applications for new people. So if you're interested, if you like Minecraft, want to have some fun, this stuff is something you should look into. There are a bunch of great people. iCraft community is looking for YouTubers, live streamers, anybody who's going to be helpful and active in the community to help the community grow stronger. Things they're looking for being considered is things like channel art, number of videos you have up, frequency of videos you're putting up, video effort, how good the video is, i.e. not crappy mic, and just the general personality you have. Any YouTubers, streamers are certainly welcome to apply. Regarding a subscription count, those things can be considered, but the real thing I'm looking for people who are active, have good humor, are well placed. If you are interested and would like to know more about this, we have a link to the video that Luke Zilla put up, kind of explaining everything, getting a little know-how of the group. There's also a link to their application page. You can go and fill out the application here, and they'll look into you, and if you're lucky, follow up with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really, really great group of people.
They really are. We have a lot of BRG members that are iCrafters or former iCrafters. They're a great community. We've done a lot of games with them in the past. They're great people. So if you're interested in finding a good community that's not going to be a bunch of griefers and spammers and pain and whatnot,
right?
And you like vanilla Minecraft, these are definitely the kind of people you want to look into. So go over and check them out. We definitely encourage you, and we hope for the best and say hi to Luke for us. All right, guys. We've put it off long enough. It's actually time to go ahead and dive into this.
I'm getting my rant hat on.
We're getting serious now. All right, so we're gonna start things off now. The topic is it's about the ethics of new media entities, and I want to step back here for a minute before we dive in too deep here and understand. And this kind of ties into how like BRG is. I look at the title of new media being the new generation of content creators. So the obvious ones are like YouTubers, like myself and Watwick, for example, Twitch streamers, but it also extends to any other entities that are kind of breaking away from old media, being like television and movies, and creating new concept, new art, new everything. Whether you're making music, making pictures, or making videos, which we have a lot of people who do that here. Right. This is a new realm, and as a new realm, it's starting to kind of, I guess, become seasoned in a sense, so much so that kids are actually emulating it. And I found this article, and I started kind of laughing because I've got 4 kids. Wake has way too many kids. But we have
17 and counting was based on my life.
You should have a show about this. But I was actually talking to Watwick before the show, and I find it funny because his kids and my kids both will mock play having a YouTube channel, or will constantly pester us to actually have a YouTube channel for them.
Oh yeah.
This is a popular thing. It's a dream for us to put ourselves out there for other people to see, to have fun with it. It's your dream to instant fame. But there's also an aspect of the kids like to emulate. And they're going to not just emulate having their own huge channels, they're going to emulate the people on YouTube. And so much so that I've actually blocked YouTube channels that aren't necessarily all that risque. They're not as bad as some could be.
No, they're questionable though.
But they'll use language or terminologies or whatever. I mean, right. One of the earliest ones I told my kids we'll have no more of is dumbass in the diamond minecart. Sorry, Dan in the diamond minecart.
Right.
The guy annoys the crap out of me, and we're gonna be diving into exactly why. But those are the kind of things I told him is you're starting to emulate some of the things he's doing.
Right.
And I'm not gonna put up with this. And this is to remember because YouTube is a very broad platform. There are many different things out on YouTube, but one segment that's very popular is gaming.
Right.
Watwick does it. I do it. Linz does it. There's a lot of people in our group that do it. But games, not only old people. Things like Minecraft, for example. A lot of young people watch that. And I think a lot of new people have kind of not quite grasp that or understand that. I accept it. I've made full disclaimers that my channel is not even remotely a PC thing. Things are going to slip. We're going to be inappropriate. BRG's channel. We try to keep the podcast somewhat civil. We're not throwing, tossing F-bombs like they're going out of style, but we're not going to be totally civil about it either. But we're trying to be upfront about it. Some of these people, though, don't. And to use the example I started with earlier is Dan in the Diamond Minecart. He annoys the living giggles out of me, which is fine. The people annoy me, whatever. But one of the things that comes up on new media that drive me nuts is every single thing they do, they play, they do whatever on YouTube, they've got their face cam up.
Yeah.
Play a jump scare game. Definitely need to have it. Right. Play any kind of game where, like Cards Against Humanity, having a face cam on is important because there is a reason for it. There's a reaction to it. Having a podcast like this, it's a connection point.
Right.
Some of these guys do it, and just the way they act, it's narcissistic.
Yeah, it really is.
They say stupid things, they act dumb, or they promote things and things like that. It's not really a happy thing. Or better yet, they have to cause drama. That's another new thing that's just started coming up online. Lord help me. I do not even want to freaking get into that, but I know we kind of have to. drama apparently has become the new thing. And
Yep.
this is what kills me.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's two channels in particular. One aptly named Drama Alert, and the other one, Keemstar. Both are YouTubers.
Well, is Keemstar?
I mean,
to be clear,
no,
Keemstar is his own channel.
It is. But
Drama Alert was, I think, started by him, but he stepped away from it.
Exactly. And the problem is that YouTube has allowed these channels to essentially terrorize people, whether it be through racist rhetoric, comments, encouragement, etc. They have allowed these individuals an outlet for their hate against other individuals.
Well, now wait a minute, Warwick. This is America. That's free speech.
It is, and people are allowed to have their opinions. But, and there's always a but that goes along with everything that's free.
I've got one. I'm sitting on it.
Mine's back there somewhere. It's on the flat side, if you ask my wife. But
mine too.
There has to be some level of oversight, especially when you have a website that, based on our last topic, reaches a vast majority of younger individuals.
Ooh, be careful what you say, because that gets dangerously close to...
It does. It does get dangerously close to censorship.
Uh-huh.
And
even more so, but think about the whole idea of the FCC swooping in saying we're not going to govern YouTube.
Right.
That would change the game dramatically.
Right.
And this is a problem. This is where we get to a slippery slope.
But it's people like this that bring those entities like the FCC in.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, let's back up here for a minute, because first of all, we talked about this in a prior episode of the podcast. YouTube just recently revised their YouTube rules, and one of the big controversial things was added was basically that said, hey, if you have a channel that is griefing or basically putting down somebody else or anything else, that can be construed as not okay, and you can get banned and have your channel removed for it.
Right.
And a lot of people looked at it and went, whoa, this is not cool, because just going on saying, I've watched Watwick's channel, and the guy's a retard.
Right. And
he can't build for crap. Now all of a sudden, Watwick can go, well, he's being demeaning. And potentially, by the way they're going to look at it and go, well, suck it up, Buttercup. But realistically, because of the way they set their rules, they're basically saying, we can drop kick you.
Yeah.
Just for that.
I think that there's extremes on both sides. And
there is.
I think that the extreme here is the fact that not only is this guy terrorizing people by using racist terminology and things like that, but he's been having people what a term called swatted.
Oh, yeah, that was
if you are familiar with the term swatted, if you're not, basically what it is you
jerk.
Find out an individual's information online or through other means,
location where they live.
You find their address, their location, and you call the police department and tell them that there's some type of situation occurring at the home or location of this individual. Major situation.
Hey, bomb or
hostage, bomb, anything of that nature. And the SWAT team shows up to your house while you're streaming. That's the whole goal of it. And so this individual has taken it upon himself to say he's not guilty of doing these things because all he does is provide the information, and then his viewers are the ones that are calling.
Yeah, and this, as you can see here, guys, this is a laundry list. Now, to be fair, I'm pointing out specifically Keemstar, just because this is one of the more recent events that's come up. So there's
this isn't new.
This isn't new by stretch of imagination, but it has gotten severe enough that even the Omega YouTuber PewDiePie has posted a video saying, you know, YouTube drama is the new thing. It's only going to get worse, and he's right. It's been doing nothing but get worse. Pains me to say this, but anyways, but this guy I point out particularly because it's very recent events. He's got his own channel. But he also has a drama alert. He stepped away. Other people taking over for a while. He announced he's coming back, and that sent a lot of people into a rage. People don't like him. He has been known to make racist comments. He has been known to be make inappropriate statements like threatening to rape someone's kid. He actually incorrectly identified a 62-year-old streamer of being a pedophile.
And but wait, it's not just one person. It's not just one 62-year-old man. He's the one that got focused on because his was obviously the worst. But this is 8 people that this person has been allowed to have huge impact on their lives by accusing them of, frankly, one of the most heinous crimes that humankind knows.
Oh, I watched the video of this guy's live stream and watching him break down, and
it's just nuts.
It breaks my heart. I mean, I'm sorry, but you know, please understand, guys. I'm one of those people that is, you know, games for all and all be happy. And for me personally, when I see a guy who's 62 out streaming on Twitch, kudos, gung ho, kick ass. I'm happy to see everybody involved and embracing it. And then this guy comes along and for the 8th time does this. He is stirring up drama. He is causing problems. Let's just put this simple. Obviously, the bigger you are, the more effect this has. But YouTube is boosting the signal. It is getting your word out there so you can connect to the masses. That's power. And with great power comes great responsibility.
Yep.
And the problem is that these people are being completely irresponsible.
Yeah. And what's worse is that they're being encouraged to do it by other people in the community.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. What's worse is when they start twisting this fame for their own personal gains.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And this is the highlight of this week's shenanigans that just put me absolutely over the top, and just to the point where I was about ready to go screaming and put my hand through monitors. If you guys haven't heard about this, I was going to cover this in the news rundown, but then it blew up, and I mean blew up. So I had to put this down as a major talking point. We need to spend the time on this. So to get everybody up to speed here real quick, Counter-Strike is a first-person shooter, kind of a milsim first-person shooter game. And what's unique about this game is that you can buy crates in game for a few dollars. And when you unlock the crates, you don't buy a crate, you buy keys to unlock. Anyways, you get crates, you unlock the crates, and for a small amount of money, and you get skins for your gun or other weapons, etc. This is in-game items that you can also trade with other people or turn into real-world value by selling them. Now, of course, with this ability, a lot of different gambling sites have popped up with the ability to use those skins as currency, as basically poker chips. So now you can go spend a couple dollars, get whatever you get out of these crates, and then go to these gambling sites and gamble with them.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, so what, right? Well, here's the first issue. First of all, it's unregulated. It's not money. So technically, there's no oversight.
It is. It ends up with money.
It ends up with money. But the actual items you're playing with aren't.
Right.
It's not. Long story short, it's not regulated, and therefore anybody can do it, including teenagers, including kids. So literally, everybody can do this. Okay, that's not exactly cool, but quite frankly, you know, if you're parents, you should be keeping an eye on your kids, right? Because,
yeah.
Hello. That said, here's where things get a lot worse very quickly. So there's this wonderful guy, well, a couple of guys, but one guy called T. Martin, who in one of his streamy videos or YouTube videos, posted a video that was like, "Oh, hey guys, I found this. You know, a friend of mine found this site they turned me on to. It's called, you know, CS:GO Lotto. Go check it out if you want to. You know, show notes are down the bottom if you want to check it out, whatever. But I found the site, and it's like a really cool site. And I played a little bit, and I got like a $60 some odd pot, which is like not a lot, but it made you feel so good to win. It was really cool, and so they said they'd get a sponsorship to kind of endorse this, or you know, to like get some skins to play a little bit. So I did that. It was really cool. So he's playing this up like, "Hey, I found the site. It's really cool. You know, check it out if you want to." Well, funny thing about that, him and what was the other guy's name? I'm trying.
Pro Syndicate.
Thank you, Syndicate.
Yeah.
They both of them were doing
not Syndicate. So there is a difference. So I don't want to bash the. There is another guy named Tom Syndicate who's got a fantastic channel out there, but there's this other douchebag named Pro Syndicate. Not of the same association.
So, long story short, these guys started doing these. You know, hi, I'm you know, hey guys, this is another YouTube video. I'm playing more of this CS:GO Lotto, and oh my god, look, I won $16,000. It's amazing.
Yay.
You can totally make tons of cash in no time at all. You should come over to the site and check it out. Well, just recently, there's actually a really neat channel that I just got turned on to called Honor the Call. And Honor the Call is a great channel focused on the Counter-Strike community. And he broke the story that these two guys, T. Martin and Pro Syndicate, were not only not disclosing any kind of association to these groups because hey, maybe they're being sponsored and we're not telling them.
Maybe they're using affiliate links or something like that.
Exactly. Maybe they're getting some kind of kickback from this. No, it's a lot worse than that. They're the owners. They are the actual owners of the Lotto site. And it wasn't even like, we forgot to put the disclaimers in noting this. They were passing it off as if they were like, "Oh yeah, we found the site. It's kind of cool. You should check it out if you want to." What the hell?
Warp says your face says it all, man. Because I feel I have the exact same opinion on this, and it just makes me sick to my stomach.
It does.
To know that this type of shit goes on.
And again, this goes back to the whole thing of with new media and with responsibility. These guys are playing games. They know full well. That they have a young community that follows them. Between the two of them, they have over 10 million followers. Yeah. They know they've got kids following. And yet, they do this. They lie about this. They sit there and say, "Oh, hey, I haven't found this place," and you come to find out they own the goddamn thing. Yep. So this is first of all, this is illegal, and they know it. It's you're not putting a kind of disclaimer in, giving them a little heads up or nothing. That's illegal. You did it in a shifty ass way. So, anyways, Honor the Call finds out about this, busts it wide open. And then all of a sudden, it is shit follows America because T. Martin, more than the other one, starts doing damage control in exactly the wrong way. He starts off by, first of all, quietly updating his information below the video with a disclaimer on all of his videos, and then goes on to post an apology video that's not really an apology video. It's like, hey, I wasn't trying to deceive anybody, blah, blah, blah.
Well, let's loop back real quick. Before the apology and before the disclaimer came the attempt to delete the content from YouTube.
Oh, no, that was second.
So on top of these things, he attempted to cover his tracks. On a digital platform that archives everything.
It's called the Wayback Machine. Dumbass. You are so stupid. You have somehow made the wonders of the internet, which we now know was started back in the 1969 or whatever it was. You use this platform to make yourself famous, and you don't even understand the idea of permanency on the internet.
Right.
So this guy goes and shows this video saying, hey, these guys own this goddamn company and they're lying. T. Martin goes back and like adds a little thing to it and forgets that the Wayback Machine will show that he didn't have them before.
Right.
Guy releases an apology video. It's like, well, you know, I wasn't trying to deceive anybody. And then it rolls downhill faster than I have ever seen. I mean, so much so there have been so many updates to this. The Honor the Call here has not one, not two, 3 or 4 videos, 5 videos to this whole situation because it keeps updating.
Keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
He edits it. He quietly edits it. Doesn't say anything. Tries to apologize, act like it's not a big deal. Oh, and this is the best. This is the best part. That's the best part. Like, you gotta watch Honor the Call videos because he shows T. Martin doing a vlog, walk around with his phone, walk around talking about, you know, how he's a good guy and everything else. Oh, yeah. As he's walking through his nice house with the nice cars out front.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, you're walking around flaunting your pad with your cars out front.
Yeah.
You know, trying not to apologize about the fact that you're basically a douche nozzle.
Yep.
You know, and then, you know, again, crap hits the fan hardcore. And what does T. Martin do? He goes back and starts privating all of his videos.
Yeah.
And all while this is happening, Honor the Call is diving into this further. Now he's got, first of all, he breaks the news. H3H3, remember those guys, boosts the signal, saying, hey, look what Honor the Call found. But Honor the Call is digging deeper and now getting help from the community, because you know how Reddit is. They do like the help. And pointing out, when you look at a bunch of his videos that T. Martin had up, where he's online gambling and winning big prizes, he's logged in as Bot03 or administrator.
Yeah.
Which means, being the owner and not doing like that, he's got access to the back end. If he's playing with bots, he's got free skins basically he's playing with. So if he wins, or if he loses, whoop-de-freaking-do, he's lost nothing. If he wins, he just screwed you out of your skins at no risk.
Right.
And the fact that he has access to the back end means potentially he has the ability to tweak the algorithm or cheat the system.
Yeah.
Oopsie!
Whoops.
Now we're in really deep crap. And this has snowballed. So much so now that after he made a complete, and forgive me, I'm going to use my one bad one here, but clusterfuck of this situation. Now, things go dark, and all responses are now coming from his lawyers. And the reason for that is, fun times begin. First of all, Valve is saying, yeah, we're not okay with this.
Yeah, about that. You know, that thing that you did that we found out about?
Yeah, we're
not okay with that.
We're not okay with that by any stretch of the imagination. There's a class action lawsuit that started. Oh, yeah, and also, by the way, Florida, the state that he's in and that this company was founded in, yeah, they're looking into this now.
Yeah. They have a little thing called a law that covers this exact type of action.
Well, and it's not just Florida, because there's also
No.
the whole federal trade commission
Yeah.
that goes, wait, you're doing what now?
I mean, long story short, and I'm going to use my one here. These guys are fucked. That's really what it boils down to.
They're so deep in it, it's ridiculous. So this is what happens, and this is why we go back to the start of all this to say, this is what happens when you're irresponsible, when you don't have ethics, and you've got followers.
No, I want to add to that. This is what happens when you get greedy. Because obviously these guys, especially T. Martin,
oh yeah,
they're doing really well for themselves. And there comes a point where you're either content with how you're doing, or you constantly want more. It's never enough. The big house, the flashy cars, the money, the fame, it's not enough. And you see it not only in YouTube.
To be fair, these guys are younger than we are. They're stupid.
Right.
They got lucky with the fame, and then they abused it. So, again, ethics is a big thing here for me, and I get very, very grumpy about this, because they're not just ruining it for themselves. They really ruin it for themselves, but they're not just ruining it for themselves. They're ruining it for me and Watwick as well.
Yeah.
They're dirtying the environment. They're making it harder for us. New rules are going to come down. It's going to be a screwed situation. So I'm not happy about it. I know Watwick's not happy about it.
Right.
It's a whole lot of stuff that really kind of pisses me off. So I'm not going to go any further next. We're over time. Shocking, I know. But I want to bring this up, and I cannot stress this enough. As soon as you're done with the podcast here, you need to go ahead and flip on over to Honor the Call. So just look up Honor the Call on YouTube and watch the 5 parts that have already come out about the CSGO gambling. He will tell you everything you need to know in detail. He'll back up his research. He'll show you where he's found everything. These are all documents and things that are linked that you can go to and see them for yourself. There's no lying here. There's no creating drama. These guys stepped in it themselves.
Yeah, this isn't one of those cases where there's no evidence and he's being accused. The evidence is insurmountable.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'm livid about this. I am really, truly livid. These guys are scumbags. They're absolute douches. And I want to put up somewhere on BRG a blacklist of, these are people that you should not be subscribed to any longer. And so start with that dumb bunny that tried to sue H3H3 for their reaction video. And I'm going to add these 2 morons onto it, and possibly add Kim onto it as well. Just because that guy really is kind of a douche, so I think he deserves it. So, anyways, Watwick, any last thoughts on this whole topic in general?
No, just, as a parent, to other parents out there, and to any young kids that are out there, be knowledgeable about what your kids are doing.
Absolutely. Do not say, they just do this. They just play Minecraft.
Right.
Watch some episodes.
Exactly.
Sit down with them. Spend some time with them.
See what they're doing. Be involved with what they're doing even more. Don't just watch what they're doing. Be involved with it. Because it's not just about watching your kids. It's about being involved with your kids and taking an active role in everything that they do, whether it be gaming, whether it be sports, whether it be anything.
Yep.
Anything.
And likewise to everybody out there that is a known entity in the YouTube world, to the ones just starting out, understand that you have the potential to be an influence on people, old and young. Do yourself a favor. Do us all a favor. Think. Because you are going to have an impact. Whether it's good or bad, that's what's going to matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, that's that for that topic. If you have input and feedback, I really do encourage you to leave comments down below You can also, of course, go to our forum page and add those there. A real quick note, I want to do a little quick shout out to the California Extreme event that's coming up. It's actually coming up this weekend from post date of this video. California Extreme is a really, really kick-ass event. There's basically a giant hall that is just filled to the gills with every single arcade and pinball machine you could possibly imagine, all set to free to play. There's like a $30, I think it is, entry fee. It is so worth it. It is amazing. All day long, just free to play games across the board. Many of the games are for sale. A lot of these games are brought in by enthusiasts that maintain these games themselves and want to be able to share this with the public. So you can go in there, check them out, have a lot of fun. They've got tournaments. They've got all kinds of great things going on there. If you happen to be in the California Bay Area and you plan on going to this, give us a shout because we'll be there. I'll be there on Saturday. I'll actually be doing some video coverage for it. I'm hoping to add to the podcast along with Shisela. So look forward to that. So definitely come up and check it out and look for me. I'll look for this wonderful, beautiful face. Get a look at it. And come say hi. If you see me, please come up and say hi. I'd love to find somebody who actually watches this and knows me. So it'd be fun.
Please come say it. Please.
Please. Like I said, guys, if you have feedback, definitely let us know. I do have the forums moved over to our new website. So you can actually come over to the new website, go to your groups. We actually have a podcast group that has forums in there. And there's we can see how the sausage is made. You can see the guest hosts lineup. You can see information about advertising with us if you want to advertise with us, as well as give your feedback for the show. So definitely check that out.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Now, Watwick, I was going to bring you up and show off your channel, but you never filled out your information again. So me, because I'm awesome. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Let me pull you up here real quick. Why are you not on the Bottle Rocket list here?
Because I haven't created content in like 6 months.
So we want to promote Watwick.
Basically BRG as a whole. I mean, Bottle Rocket Gaming, great community, really great people. I took a step back from creating content just because of real life. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Job plus wife plus kids equals no free time whatsoever. When I game, it's usually late at night before I'm about to go to bed, and if Warp's on or somebody else is on, I've got 20 minutes and we'll get into a couple quick things. I also edit video and do audio production and stuff for work. Mm-hmm. So I have no desire to do it when I get home and on my weekends. So,
Can't
you'll
imagine why.
Basically, where you'll see me is in other people's videos. For the time being. That's not to say that I'm not going to create content in the future. Warped and I have been talking about some stuff that we're potentially interested in coming up.
Stuff and things.
Not really gaming related. Just put that out there. Speaking of the devil.
Not the devil, it's the cure to the devil. Anyways, guys, no, I'm gonna forego even bothering my my channel because you guys know the crap there. Matter of fact, not this week or next week or even one following, but in a few weeks, a month from now or so, the episode that comes up for Warships, you'll actually have Watwick back in there again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have some fun poking around as always. I always have fun with you, Max. You're totally down for it. Hey, let's grab our destroyers and go hide behind islands.
Oh yeah,
play peekaboo.
Let's just blow everything up. And if we get blown up first, we'll just back out and go blow some other stuff up.
But hey, Bottle Rocket community, guys, I really gotta stress this. We just had our town hall meeting. We do town hall meetings once every quarter. We actually talk about the state of the community, what's going on with it. For example, we have our new website that we're still in soft launch. We're like, art and stuff to do for it, but it's already very active in terms of stuff going on. You see right here, we have events. We have a bunch of events up. So we have the town hall meeting that just finished today. We've got Dying Light, Dead by Daylight, Dying Light. We also have Evolve coming up. Evolve was a game that was $80 paid account or paid service that has, or paid game that actually has gone free to play. So we're going to be doing that as the first of a new series that's going to be on Bottle Rocket Gaming's channel, which is going to be the Unrecommendables. This is a series that BDA handed off to us with his blessing. He has a great series he started a while back on his channel called the Unrecommendables. We're actually going to take that and run with it. So we're going to do free-to-play games. We're going to spend like a month playing them on and off together. We'll play a little bit by ourselves as well as have events where we all get together and play together to get a feel for the game. And at the end of that, we're going to get everybody together in a round table to critique the game, kind of analyze what we liked and disliked, and kind of give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, or 5-star rating or whatever to give you guys kind of a feel of, is it worth wasting your time on? So we do a lot of things like that. Again, we also have a lot of groups. We're starting to get the chatter ramped up in there, along with forums and whatnot. We do have our BRG Podcast group now, so you can go in there and actually chat with us and say hi. We do have a lot of other groups here. Gaming groups, of course, things like CSGO. We also have things like new media. Again, if you're a new media person, we love new media people. You don't have to be a YouTuber or Twitch person. You can do art. You can do music. It doesn't matter. Bottle Rocket Gaming, for say the name, Bottle Rocket, is a new media environment. We welcome you to come, even if you don't make content, even if you don't do any of that. If you're just good people, we want you. Exactly. We love you. Viesti is our poster child for I don't make crap. I'm just here for the fun of it, and she always adds to the environment. So we really encourage it. If you want to know more about us, come over here and check us out. Get to know us a little bit. Likewise, of course, head over to the YouTube channel. Not only do we have our podcast, we also have our weekly rundown run by Dude Callers, so you can keep up on what's going on with the YouTubers in Bottle Rocket Gaming. We also have a new one that just dropped. This is I'm very excited about. Linz and Dano have done the first of the BRG Geek Fuel unboxings. So they actually go through and they actually do an unboxing. We're actually planning on rolling this out mass. So when we start getting donations from people, we're going to start paying for these type of boxes that we're going to send out to all of the different BRGers we have in the group. And they're going to do an unboxing video for this channel. So we'll be able to send one to Watwick, will do unboxing, throw it up here, and so on. This is where the money is going. We talked about you guys giving us donations to help us out. Again, I want to stress this very, very much. The nuts and bolts, the daily grind, the bills that have to get paid to keep the lights on, I'm soaking this cost as a founder, along with Viesti, along with RG. We are the board of directors for the group. We pay the cost to keep the lights on. The donations we get from you guys help us do fun things like this. So this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna be able to see the stuff from see the unboxes we do, prizes, etc. This is the kind of stuff we want to be able to do. So the more donations we get, the more stuff like this we can do. Also, I want to put a big 10 point out. If you guys haven't heard of Votable, go over to votable.com. This is a really cool site. It's got a neat format for posting all kinds of stuff, from videos, pictures, games, movies, whatever kind of thing. It's a great community to talk back and forth. We are becoming active on there. We're posting a lot of our videos here, as well as conversations and whatnot. So you head over there and find us there as well. Give us an up arrow, leave us a comment, say hi to us. If you're part of the Votable group, come say hi to us. And of course, last but not least, conscious enough, guys, there's our Patreon account. Head on over there. Please, 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 if you can lend us $1, it's a huge help. We appreciate it. We love it. We are built around building a community and promoting collaboration, helping people do and create. So you are contributing to that, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Again, apologies for running long. We're getting better, sort of.
We'll get there.
Smaller. We'll get it down.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. But there's a lot more fun, new things to come. So be ready. All right, guys. Watwick, thank you again, my friend. It's great to have you back on.
Always, brother.
All right, man. I will talk to you later. Take care, guys. Bye. if we just evolved to have no hair anywhere, I'd be okay with this. There's nothing up here that's worth styling or having that I wouldn't sacrifice not to have hair down there. Because I'm sorry, hair in your butt crack?
Oh, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, total bullshit.
Serves no purpose whatsoever.
None at all.